Good morning, my friends. It's Lisa, your favorite spoon bunny, and today I am being joined by my little friend Foggosaurus, and she is going to help me share with you a little bit more about one of what I consider the more difficult aspects of dealing with chronic illness, and that is brain fog. Foggosaurus is a chargemal, and the chargemals are the brainchild, haha, pun intended, of my friend Natalie. And Natalie is the founder of a Facebook support group called the Unchargeables. Now, the Unchargeables is a wonderful, wonderful support group that's been of great help to me over the last 5 years. And she also has an online shop where you can find wonderful spoonie gear and more information as well about the different chronic illnesses and the chargemals themselves. Now, as I said, Foggosaurus is here to help me explain a little bit more about brain fog, or as I've personalized it a little bit better for myself, what I lovingly refer to as RSD brain. And the reason that it's what I consider one of the most difficult aspects of dealing with chronic illness is because it looks odd to people, and it tends to lead to misunderstandings when people just don't understand that the patient is just trying to gather their thoughts and trying to communicate when we just can't connect brain to mouth or brain to hands or whatever the case may be. Brain fog interferes with our memory. It interferes with our cognitive abilities. It interferes with pretty much everything. So when you see my eyes moving and you see my mouth kind of like, I don't know, and you see the long, difficult pauses, and you see all of the different sort of hand flapping and things that I do to try and sort of bridge the gap, it's more frustration than anything. It's trying to get the words out and trying to reach things that I know are in here, but I just can't quite get to. And one of the easiest ways to highlight that is in a story that happened when we were just driving down the road the other day. We were headed to lunch, and my husband looked over and saw a construction site. And he said, "What is that going to be? Is that going to be a new school?" And I had driven by that place before, and I knew that, yes, indeed, it was going to be a new school. I knew that the place was a college that already had a campus in town, and that it was already in existence here in town, but that it was a new location for the southern end of town. And I knew the first letter of the first name of the school, but I could not find it, and it was just driving me crazy. I knew it was there. I was trying to find it, and I couldn't. And it took several minutes, and I was thinking and just racking my brains And my husband finally saw the signage, and he spat out the name, and I went, ah, there it is. I knew I had it. I knew it was in there somewhere. And as soon as he said the name, I remembered. But it wasn't before he did that I could. And that is the most frustrating part of it. I was ready to just pull my hair out because I could not remember if it could have saved my life, I wouldn't have been able to remember it. And that's what brain fog is. It's just having something at the back of your mind and the back of your memory that you just can't find. It interferes with all of your aspects of life. You can't find your words. You can't find your keys. You can't find your phone, even when it's in your hand. And it's off-putting to some people, I think, sometimes, because we can't seem to figure it out, My husband has learned how to help me, and he does help me quite a great deal, because he can fill in the gaps. When I'm looking for a word, I can think of 4 or 5 others at that given time that sort of are similar but aren't quite what I'm trying to say. For instance, I was looking for a word the other day. I was trying to figure out how to describe research studies and trials. And I could only think of the word activities. Activities kept sticking in my brain, but I knew that wasn't the right word for studies and trials. And you can understand how activities doesn't quite match studies or trials. That's not the word you need. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But I couldn't figure it out. And that's how my husband helps me out. He helps me bridge the gap. He's like a second brain for me. And he's like a memory cache almost. I'll ask him, I'll use him as a reminder system. I'll use him as a calendar, and I'll use him and my phone as, support systems and ways of making up for my lack of brain function. And so that's, one of the things that you learn to do when you're dealing with the loss of the mental functions and abilities that you used to have. There's an old saying that says, of all the things that I've lost in my life, I miss my mind the most. And that's not any truer in anyone than it is of a person with chronic illness. I've spoken to people that have had, master's degrees and were very educated people before they got sick, and they are extremely angry because now, once chronic illness hit, they've lost all of that. It's no longer there for them, and it's just something that is it's so frustrating. And so you learn to cope. You learn to write things down. You learn to put reminders in your phone. Put all your appointments in your phone. You use your loved ones and your friends and your family as memory banks and post-it notes, so to speak, to help you along the way. And I even use my phone and a notes app. I have a list of a list category of where did I put, and I list each item. Where did I put my phone? Where did I put my extra battery pack? Where did I put my headphones? Where did I put my notebook, etc., etc. I have grocery lists. I have my doctor book, which I'll talk a little bit more about another day. And so you have to have those systems in place to help you to sort of be your brain for you. And so for those of you that, have a family member that have a chronic illness, be patient with us, please. There may be times when we can't communicate effectively. There may be times when we've forgotten something that was important, and it may make you mad. Because we can forget, it's probable that we will forget important holidays or events or birthdays or what have you. And it's probable that we'll forget that we were supposed to do something very important for you. Please be patient with us. It's not our fault. We don't mean to do it. We don't have bad intentions. We just can't help it, So be patient, be kind, be loving, be supportive. Help us if you can. My husband has learned to fill in the blanks and read my mind and help me find the words when I don't even know what words I'm looking for. And that is something that I'm extraordinarily grateful for. And so that's a little bit more about brain fog and Foggosaurus, my friend. We'll have more about the chargeables, the chargeables and the unchargeables later on, I promise. They'll be making regular appearances in my videos for sure, especially now that I have been given such wonderfully kind permission from my friend Natalie Van Scheltinga. Until the next time, my friends, this is the Spoon Bunny signing off. May your spoons be plenty and your troubles be few. Have a great day.